how do you want to be remembered?
I mean, if I die?
Everything just goes away. How would you, if you could be associated with one thing, how would you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. Most important thing is my faith.
From his words and his mouth, courage for his faith. Charlie Kirk, that was just 3 months ago in a June 29th podcast interview, answering that very question on how he would like to be remembered.
Yeah, chilling stuff right there. Charlie's pastor, David Engelhardt, reflects on the Turning Point USA's founder's legacy of faith and change following his shocking assassination. David Engelhardt is Charlie Kirk's pastor, and he joins us live to discuss this legacy more. Pastor Engelhardt, thank you so much for joining us. Tell us your reaction to what you just heard Charlie say in that interview right there.
Thank you both for having me on. It's an honor to talk about Charlie and what he believed and what he stood for. I want to first say that our prayers are with Erica, his wife, and his 2 children, and the Turning Point USA staff that is hurting right now, and we love them all. If anyone wants to donate to support them, they can go to tpusa.com and support their family. But Charlie was a man of incredible faith. I met him in the summer of 2020 when he was really frustrated with the churches across the United States that were not standing up in the face of lockdowns and all of the backlash that was happening that summer. And he was a voice of courage for churches across the country. And he started to surround himself with other men of faith that were really courageous and bold, like Rob McCoy and others that were saying, we're not going to back down. And I think there was a synergy between their faith and Charlie's courage. And then when those two things met, there was a faith explosion in his heart. And, we have a horrible tragedy. John 10:10 says, the thief comes to steal and kill and destroy. But Jesus said, I come that you would have life and life more abundantly. And I think what we're going to see with Charlie's stance, with his faith, with how courageous he was, that we're going to see an explosion of life. We're going to have 1 million Charlie Kirks rise up and love their country and love their families and love their churches and love their nation. And that will change the face of the United States, to have people that walk like Charlie, that are so committed deeply to their faith and committed deeply to their nation and their families.
Yeah, talk about his faith. We often talk about political violence and how these stories are told. He was assassinated for his political ideology. But if you really know Charlie's message, it was rooted in the Holy Bible. It was rooted in faith. It was rooted in Jesus Christ. I mean, you could go farther than politics and say this was about his faith. This was about what he believed in. All he did, if you listen to his message, was tout Scripture, was tout biblical principle. And that's really what people ultimately on the other side, that we love him so much, that many hated him for. Before I get your response to that, I just wanted to play this soundbite for you to that point. Listen.
If you look around with creation, there are 15 fine-tuned measurements that if anyone went off by a micron, our entire existence would not exist. The tilt of the Earth, our proximity to the sun, our configuration of oxygen to carbon dioxide. In fact, we can look at the probability of our existence. It's 1 in multiple trillions that all of this would come together at an exact time, let alone consciousness, let alone human beings, let alone our DNA. The teleological argument for God, that comes from the Greek word telos, which means, we get the word telescope. It means goal, destination, or purpose. This here goes to an argument that for every cause, for every effect, there must be a cause. So, for example, we can agree that space, time, and matter exists. We agree.
Yes.
Therefore, definitionally, something that is outside of space, time, and matter must have made space, time, and matter exist.
Not necessarily. We can. Well,
then it's against the laws of reason. We as Christians have hope that we are going to see our loved ones again, and that we will be in heaven, and that we will be in perfect peace, and that this is not it. In fact, there's something even better awaiting us. So I hope one day that you do seek to find something higher and better, that this is not all for us in our existence. Thank you so much.
And Pastor, you were watching that with us and those at home. Aside from how smart and intelligent and quick he was, what ran through your mind just now watching Charlie?
I mean, those are conversations that Charlie and I would have together with other philosophers, theologians, pastors,